Welcome to SWW News. I'm Aaron Ree.
And I'm Buddha Quake, and again for writer Craig. Our top story, there may be not one but two night monarchs at large. This clip is from Queen Sable's press conference at the Warren this afternoon.
Good afternoon. We've been coordinating extensively with House Sauropoda, House Millies, and all the other litromantic great houses to try to figure out exactly what has happened. To the best of our ability to determine, this is how events unfolded, and this is our best determination of what they mean. At approximately 5 minutes to midnight Eastern Time on the 31st of October, ECC Books, the scribe of House Sauropoda, who was being watched for suspicious behavior, drowned himself in the swamp. His body was not recovered. At 9:01 p.m. Pacific Time on Halloween night, after Prince Tempest and I returned from the Godoween celebrations at the Prince Tempest was ambushed while on Tome guard duty by Lord Galacrond. Galacrond stole the Iron Tome while Tempest attempted to recover. By 9:16 p.m., the alarm had been sounded, but Galacrond had already made his escape. We assume that Galacrond teleported around to random locations to throw off the pursuit because the Owsla tracked him and his phone to Alaska, North Dakota, Utah, and California, along with a number of other random locations throughout North America, before returning home to Windy Willows at approximately 2 minutes to midnight Mountain Time. In that hour, ECC Books, now in the form of the undead creature we know as ICC Dead People, appeared outside of the Warren. We caught him on security camera. However, he only remained for a few moments before teleporting away again. He was either unable or made the decision not to attempt to enter the Warren proper. Likely, he was deterred by the wards. However, it is equally likely he arrived expecting to find the Iron Tome, sensed its absence, and then sought it out elsewhere. Just after Lord Galacrond teleported back to Windy Willows, security footage from House Millie shows him attempting to open the backpack that held the tome. But ICC Dead People teleported into Windy Willows at that moment. A struggle ensued. At midnight, the Brock trees arrived at the sound of the commotion, only to witness a massive magical explosion. The magical force radiated from the Iron Tome and threw both Galacrond and ICC back against the wall of the Great Hall in Windy Willows. When Galacrond got back up, he had the power of the dead. Both Galacrond and ICC then laid hands upon the Iron Tome, shared a laugh, and vanished together before the Brock trees could detain either one of them. Since then, both Gallowhite, which is the undead identity of Lord Galacrond, and ICC have been sighted in various locations, especially in North America, but around the world, murdering hundreds and raising them again as undead, forming a horde as we have seen in the past 2 years in November. We have confirmed that Lord Galacrond is deceased, and whoever is piloting Gallowhite's body is not Lord Galacrond. We can only conclude that this means that we have not one, but two night monarchs at large, and they are working in tandem to form another army of undead. The houses are working together to coordinate our defenses and military response. Most protectorates have now declared martial law, and the army, the militia, the National Guard, and other armed forces have been empowered to deal with the threat. Please continue to listen to their instructions as directed. A massive litromantic offensive is currently underway to take the fight to the undead horde, led by the defenders of the realm. No further details will be given at this time for security reasons. The houses have a plan, and we stand ready to defend the realm and our protectorates with our lives. If you need assistance, please reach out to the appropriate military services in your protectorates. Those numbers should now be flashing across the screen, depending on where you are in the world. Right now, the hordes appear to be amassing largely on the west coast of North America, and we are actively tracking their movements via satellite with new security software provided by Going to zombiewatch.org will show you the current satellite data in real time. We will continue to provide daily updates until this is over. I will now take questions. Yes.
In related news, author Goddess, host of the popular show Let's Talk and owner of AG Global Media, which recently bought out GoT News, is missing and presumed undead. Unconfirmed reports have put her in the company of ICC dead people and Lord Gallowhite as they wreak havoc around the globe. Aaron, do you think there's any validity to these stories, or do you think we're just hearing rumors?
Oh no, I have no doubt these sightings are legit. I can tell you from personal experience that once you've been the Night Monarch, the taint of that experience remains part of you. Night Monarch gets more and more aggressive when November approaches, and if they didn't lock me up at night, I would have already joined them myself, I'm sure.
Well, and then that poses the question, should former Night Monarchs be kept under lock and key for the safety of the realm?
Honestly, I think yes. I only stay at the Warren because Sable agreed to lock me up at night when the Night King is in control. Right? I wear one of these locators on anklets, so I can be tracked. Should I manage to escape side of the Owl's Law, it's clear that the Night King continues to influence me and the Night Monarch continues to influence Author Goddess. So what happens if and when ICC dead people and Lord Gallowhite are defeated? Will they continue to be a danger to others as Author Goddess and I clearly are? Is it fair for the public to have to put up with the risk that we present? I don't think so. I think Gala and I might be spending our night in a cell together for our own good and for the good of everyone else.
Now, on the other hand, from what you've been telling me and from this latest news from the press conference, it sounds as though those who have become Night Monarchs are possessed by some form of demon. And is it right to deny freedom and free will to those who are equally victims of circumstances as the rest of us? They just happen to have been especially unlucky victims. From what you're saying, you, Aaron, haven't really done anything wrong. It's this alter ego, this dark identity, sort of Hyde to your Jekyll. Is it right to deny Jekyll his freedom because Hyde is a monster?
Yeah, I would agree that perhaps it isn't, but is it necessary? Probably for the public good, and that's unfortunate. I admit I don't enjoy having my freedom curtailed, but is it right for the public to have to risk being around the Night King? Risk me being the Night King? Is it right for me to inflict that on the people in my life? I look at that 1,000-yard stare in my wife's eyes, Buddha, and I never want to see that in anyone's eyes ever again.
Well, that's definitely food for thought there, Aaron. Thank you. And thank you to you, our viewers, for tuning in to SWW editorials. In related news, stock prices on AG Global Media tanked this week, plummeting from a blue chip stock to a value of mere pennies per share. And a few more eyeball and tentacle fish sightings were reported this week, this time in the Fraser River estuary and the Nile Delta. Now, these increased sightings are beginning to alarm marine biologists around the world. Speculation about probable causes continue, with theories ranging from climate change to void corruption. What are your thoughts, Aaron?
I don't know, man. Do I look like a marine biologist? I thought this whole thing was void hysteria at first. I can't imagine what would cause things except some pretty twisted magic. And unless you think someone's doing some mollusca summoning magic at the bottom of the ocean, right? I think it's going to be chemicals. But what do I know? And how about you? What do you think?
Well, I was hoping you had some insight. I just got to this reality, remember?
I think unless Host Mollusca has something to share, it will forever remain a mystery.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And returning to the news, there are also reports of attacks by these creatures on lone swimmers, particularly lone litteromancers. The Lapin, Mollusca, and Sauropoda protectorates have issued warnings to swim with a buddy if you go swimming in major estuaries. Protectorate has issued similar warnings specific to Puget Sound and the mouths of the Thames. In addition to this new threat of Manser mumps, The filking plague appears to be especially virulent this season. Dr. Mamby-Pamby from the CFC has more.
Okay. Thank you all for coming here today. Dr. Mamby-Pamby here with the new Centers for Filking Control report. The Fortissimo variant of the filking plague continues to gain ground among literancers and undead alike in the realm. Reports indicate that the mother of bunnies, Sable Aradia, the undead bard, ICC Dead People, as well as the former Night King, Aaron Ree, and Filkmaster Tempest Quake are breaking quarantine procedures and recording newly written filks, despite the obvious risks involved. Who knows how many others may already be infected? Should we begin discussing the forcible containment of the Filkmaster and the Mother of Bunnies, for their own good? Should we at least require them to wear gags when they venture out in public? If you suspect you have the filking plague, please do not contact Filkmaster Tempest Quake or their assistant Realm of Music for quarantine procedures. They will only encourage you to keep filking and may even offer their assistance. At first, I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never filk. I had no words inside. But then I gave all these reports and noticed you were doing harm, and I grew strong. And I know how we'll get along, and so you're back from that void space. But I've been waiting with the gag, and I will put it in your face. I should have seen that you resign. I should have made you leave your key. But now I'm making sure that you no longer run the CFC. Go on now, go! Oh no. I have to go.
We interrupt this broadcast for breaking news. Windy Willows appears to be under attack by the undead horde. We're receiving some footage, and we go there now live.
Look, I gotta go, Buddha. You got this?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
I guess we're shutting down early for tonight. We'll see you all next time here on SWW News. Thank you for watching, and good luck out there.